Today I'm going to show you around the supersized coral reef tank of Abass. We chatted for 3 hours when I met him, and I've distilled that down into 20 minutes so he can explain all the key points about what's in the tank and what makes it tick. Now, if you have a showcase reef tank and you want it featured on the greatest YouTube channel in the known universe, click on the link in the About section of my channel and send me an email. And if you want a new reefing video every week, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out when I upload. Right, now it's over to Abass, who'll start by telling you how big the tank is.
The total water volume is 1,700 litres.
1,700 litres. What's that in US gallons? About 400 gallons.
About 400.
So it's 200 centimetres long. So that's
200, yeah.
Just under 7 foot.
Yep.
Just over 3 feet wide.
Yep.
And what was it? 100 centimetres?
70 tall.
So just over 2 feet tall.
Yep.
So, yeah, 2 feet 3, 2 feet 4 tall. So it's a big old beast.
Yep.
And this was presumably a custom tank, right?
It was indeed, yeah.
Okay, and it was Aquarium Collections in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, Vincent Thomas.
So yeah, it's a well-known UK tank builder. And you've had it for how long?
This tank is literally just over 3 years now.
3 years.
Yep.
So well established, nice and settled.
Yep.
Takes care of itself.
Absolutely, yeah. Literally, it is literally on a railway track at the moment. Touch wood. Just literally just maintenance now, and all the initial pain, heartache of the first year's over.
So first year, is that how long it took to kind of?
I'd say I literally was pulling my hair out in the first year. Like I'd done it, I just hair algae, just things constantly swinging, everything. I don't know what it was. Maybe not good rock to start with. I don't know what it is, but then just suddenly everything just started like plain sailing.
Did you do anything when you had algae and all these problems? Did you just kind of let it burn itself off?
I did. I think I literally just stopped messing with it. I was constantly with a toothbrush scrubbing it. I think I was making it even worse, just spreading it around. And I think one of the things that really got this tank on track was algae scrubbers. Just literally having something really efficient to outcompete the nutrients in the tank. And I think I made the initial mistake of adding way too many fish too quickly. So the old classic. And they weren't little fish either. They were like, I thought, I've got a big tank, I'll put some big fish in it.
Some of the fish that you've got, I see in the shops, like you've got a checkerboard wrasse, and he's about 6 feet long. And when you see them in the shop, they're tiny, aren't they? They're like 2 or 3 inches long. So you've got a ton of tangs in there as well. So how many tangs have you got? 4 or 5?
I think about 4 or 5. Yeah.
So of the algae-eating fish that I can see, you've got a dory, if you'll forgive me.
Yep.
The term. You've got a couple of fox faces, one spotted Fijian.
Yep.
You've got a freckle face tang, you've got a convict tang.
Yep.
And a purple tang.
Yep.
Yellow tang, sorry.
Yeah, purple tang.
Is that everything?
I'd say a very good algae eater as well is that koi reed parrotfish.
Yes, parrotfish. So of those, which is the best?
Foxfish.
Fox,
Definitely,
yeah,
absolutely.
And so apparently they can eat corals if you're unlucky. Have you had any bad luck?
Never, no. I think maybe they're a bit like that flame angel where they'll nibble on stuff that's on its way out already.
Yeah.
But I've never had any problems at all with them.
And you mentioned the Scarus koi, the parrotfish. But he's a bit of a beast, like in a good way. Like he's algae eater and all this. And it's quite peaceful. He doesn't eat corals.
No, what I find with them is if I put any of these corals from the Frag tank into there, he will literally nibble and clean around the bases of all the new corals you put in. And being a bit of a, they've got quite a strong mouth, beak, and they're quite clumsy, he will scrape away some of the base of the incrustation on the new coral, and it kind of like gives you a bit like, oh, he's eating my corals, but he's pretty much just giving it a good clean, and then it's like, and then that's it, he ignores it.
And you mentioned, so the other one you mentioned, flame angel. So that's a big old flame angel fish.
Yep.
You've had him for
8 years.
8 years.
He's I think the where is it? The purple tang, the foxfish, and the flame angel are the 3 fish I carried over from my tank before this one.
Okay.
So they're some of the oldest fish in this tank.
Wicked. And he's kind of, their flame angels are reportedly a bit of a time cost when it comes to corals. So do you find it eat polyps or pecks at your LPS or anything?
You see him pecking at the corals, and you can see like maybe I'd have a little bit better polyp extension if it wasn't for him. But he's just part of the family, really. He came along with this the tank change. So yeah, it is what it is. But no, I think as long as they're well fed and like generally they've. I don't think they cause any damage to your corals, especially when it's like spread out over this much. Yeah. So yeah, maybe if it was in a little nano tank and you only had a couple of SPS, it would be so irritating it would do damage. You can spread out.
The other one that stands out is your golden hawkfish. What was it?
Yeah, golden haul yellow hawkfish. Yeah.
How do you find him with shrimp, snails, crabs, all that sort of stuff?
Absolutely. Well, I used to have loads of cleaner shrimp, and they slowly, obviously they don't live for more than 2, 3, I probably got them when they were over a year old, so, and they don't live for 2, 3 years, so they were kind of like fate. I had one cleaner shrimp left before I got him, and maybe it's a coincidence, or maybe he did eat him, but he's gone now. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, obviously snails, any of that, small fish, doesn't bother them at all.
That's brilliant. But he's a great character.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Really
Absolutely brilliant.
Same as kind of your parrotfish. They're kind of good characters as well, aren't they? Yeah. So what else was it this day? Oh yeah. So I think so. Your fish are quite well fed, and your copper band. So my copper band is about a year old, and he's healthy. He's fine, but I would like him to have a little bit more weight on him.
Yeah.
Yours, he's not like fat or obese or anything, but he's very healthy.
Yeah.
And looks happy as Larry. So how long have you had him?
I mean, I've had him for 2.5 years now, and I mean, I'd say it's a nice established tank, so he's got plenty of like natural grazing to have, and I also like take out rocks when I can be bothered from the sump, which are covered in like apatasia and all that, for him to have a munch on for me. But I'll show you. I mean, this is a bit of a DIY.
Yes. Your feeder.
Yeah, so basically, this is a magnet, any old magnet. It's got 32mm pipe puttied onto it, and then it's a pipe end cap, and it's just got some holes drilled into it, which pretty much only suit the butterfly's beak. And literally, I buy fresh live mussels, freeze them down, close it off, and then it just goes into the tank, and pretty much he gets the lion's share. Because he's obviously got to compete with all of these other like boisterous tanks and stuff.
So does he feed if you don't do that? Does he feed anyway, or is that?
Oh yeah. I mean, he holds his ground. Like absolutely, yeah. But it's not. I don't think keeping copper bands is hard when you've got a good one. Yeah. It's keeping them. It's getting them through that initial 6 months of when they've just been through so much stress for like a couple of months. So
in terms of corals, this. To me, I would describe this as SPS dominated. It's not a mixed reef in that it kind of is in that you've got some LPS, but mostly it's like, I don't know, 80% SPS?
I'd say 80%, yeah, definitely.
And it's mostly Acropora.
Yeah.
And that's your favourites?
Absolutely, yeah.
So have you got any kind of favourites?
I think for some of my favourites, it's got to be the Red Planet. I've got this lovely Plenta Pink Tip or Rainbow Loom. And I also love, you can't beat the the classics really, like the tricolour Acropora. Yeah. But I also have a bit of some of my other favourite corals are chalice corals.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got a couple of really nice chalice corals, and we'll show some clips with just the blue lights on. You've got. But what are kind of your favourite chalices in this?
But I think probably my two favourite at the moment is this one. It's known as watermelon, or the other name is pink boobies. so that's a lovely one. And I've kind of looked it up, and but I take these names with a pinch of salt. It is named on the worldwide corals. There's a chalice around there. It's on their website, and that's probably one of my favourite coral chalices as well.
And that's on the viewing side. So this is, I'll show you the full room. This is in a big fish room that's just dedicated to the tank.
Yep.
Which is probably where you spend a lot of your time.
Yeah, definitely.
But you've got a big hole in your wall where your living room is, and that is kind of the first coral you see.
Yeah.
You said the clowns live in the hammers. They obviously don't bother.
Yeah.
So they get on all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think it's there's like three or four like standalone colonies there, all obviously on a shelving rock, just glued to the shelving rock, and yeah, it seems to like work out really well.
So what are kind of your nitrogen phosphate levels?
Phosphate is generally 0.1, and it's been pretty rock solid for, I'd say, a good year at 0.1, and the nitrates have been pretty much the same, like literally 25 part for about a year and a half.
Okay, so it's fair to say you like good levels of nutrients.
Yep. A lot of these Indo corals and chalices, and obviously like goниes, they want nutrients, and they all look better for it.
And to be fair, although this is SPS dominated, it's mixed in the sense that it's got LPS and SPS, and it's not like your LPS are suffering and your SPS are thriving. They're all looking pretty good, to be fair. So, so high nutrients is working for you for sure. So what else was there? A couple other things I wanted to mention. Okay, so do you know what? I think we've covered off corals, and I will be showing plenty of footage of your corals. Let's talk about aquarium.
Yep.
Everybody loves aquarium. We'll start with your lighting and your flow and all that, and we'll move on to your sub. So, first off, you are an old school T5 and halide fan.
Yeah.
So tell us about your lights.
LEDs 100% have a purpose in this hobby. I think they're one of the greatest things to come about in the last 10 years. But I still don't see a complete, like, I don't see like the results you get from pure LED when you compare them to T5 and metal halide. And there's just something about, especially metal halide, it's just like the natural shimmer, spread, everything about it. And the growth and the colours is all the corals this end. Like literally you frag them and you turn around and they're ready to be fragged again. Yeah.
So okay, so a bit of metal halide, a lot of T5, and then a couple of Reef bright strips. So they're Reef bright strips?
Yeah, Reef bright, absolutely brilliant LEDs.
Flow, it's fair to say you've got what, 3 Jais and 2 MP60s?
yeah. So we've got 2 MP60s, 2 MP40s, and 3 Gyra, the biggest ones they do. I think it's the FX 350s, XF 350s.
Very good, okay. And so your Gyras, do you have to clean them very often?
Yeah, they are a pain in the arse. Absolute pain in the arse. Yeah, I mean, they are absolutely brilliant at what they do, but I clean these the Vortex every 6 months, but I have to have a reminder that goes off on my computer to clean the propellers on those gyros every 4 or 5 weeks. Otherwise, you drastically see a drop off.
Yeah.
Like, and it's literally like a cliff. Like it's gone.
Yeah. So let's talk about filtration in your summer. So you've got so how often do you do water changes, and what percentage? 10%?
I try to just do water changes with maintenance. Okay. I'll be like, so maybe pretty much I do a water change every weekend.
Any idea how much water you change?
I'd say about 300 litres a month. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
At the start, it was a lot more.
Yeah.
Because things were just constantly swinging and like.
It's kind of
stable. But now it's just really stable.
Yeah. So I would say it's probably 5% a week. Maybe.
Yeah. Probably about that.
All right. So we talked about filtration earlier. You've got 2 enormous algae scrubbers. What else have you got? That's a skimmer.
So So these are algae scrubbers. Yep. They are a little more maintenance than a typical algae bed, but I just think you can't fault them for like the sheer performance for how they grow and remove nutrients, and they also I think they remove a lot of heavy metals as well from the water.
Right. Okay.
And another thing is a bit of a commercial. It's called a Reef skimmer. It's all the way from America, but it's also what I liked about this skimmer is it's tall, and I think performance comes from a tall skimmer, not a big, not the width. It's all about contact time.
And I can see a green tube going out the side of your house.
Yeah, that's going out. That's going out into the fresh air. Okay. Yeah.
What's your pH on the tank?
It never really drops below 8.1, and it goes to about 8.3 during the day.
8.1 to 8.3, which is basically perfect.
Yep,
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
yep, literally.
And that moves us on to then, so that's all of your nutrient export, or is there anything else? Phosphate reactor?
Obviously got GFO phosphate reactor, which is just like run off the manifold,
Okay.
and then that also goes into just a little bit of carbon just to polish the water. I don't really constantly carbon, but I'd say on and off. I say I'd run it for 1 week, off for 1 week, run it, and then that's about it really. I've got 2 blocks of
Marine pure?
yeah, the old
Yeah.
marine pure.
Okay.
I've also got a UV. We got.
So what is that for? White spot algae? What do you use it for?
I think it's more for like water clarity, and
Right, okay.
yeah, just I think it helps a lot with. I think it helped a little bit when I had dinos, if it's that free swimming stuff, the ones that. But I think it also helps a little bit with yeah, just general fish health. But I think generally water clarity.
So that's all your filtration, and so that brings us on to element replacement. So, do you do dosing, calcium reactor? What do you do?
I pretty much do calcium reactor and Acropora.
Calcium reactor and calcium. So that is kind of, that's, I would like to say that's kind of old school, but like in a good way, because that's what works. And you've got the calcium reactor that is just keeps everything bang on stable, and your calcium maybe balances out the pH a bit.
I mean, it definitely helps balance out the pH. And the calcium reactor, I mean, it's just like when you do an ICP, it's just like everything's generally always bang on, and yeah, I can't fault it really.
So that's really nice to say. You don't do any dosing?
I do dosing. I think just a few things that have always been low on my ICPs I've put onto the onto a doser, which is basically, I mean, manganese always reads 0 when you do an ICP, but it's there. It's just taken up by all the organic matter, so it doesn't register on the test. But I had literally a bit of a heartbreaking time when like I didn't dose manganese. Well, I used to dose it, and I thought this isn't doing anything, and it's costing it, and it's not exactly cheap stuff. And then literally didn't put 2 and 2 together, but about 3 months after stop dosing it, all my LPS started stripping. Manganese is supposedly it's almost like a sunscreen for the lower light loving corals, and it just helps them their tissues become a bit more protected from obviously our LEDs, UV light. And sure enough, started dosing it again, and they all sprung back to life.
It's worth
Manganese, strontium, and iodine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And then other than that, nothing. No.
No, absolutely not. No, it's already enough work.
Exactly.
No.
Let's talk about your frag tank then.
Yep.
So the frag tank this basically is somewhere for you to store all the corals that you frag, because you do a bit of bonsai work and trimming it back.
Yep.
Sort of, right? And you've got quite. So this is I was about to say you've got a lot of fish, but then that's because this is all connected to the same system. So it's not like this frag tank would hold, I don't know, 150 litres, but the reality is it's part of your 2,000 almost litre system. But actually, so maintenance, do you spend like half your life in here? Or
No, not at all. At the moment, it's absolutely, I'd say for the last year, it's been absolutely, yeah. I have to pretty much, I got like the old Apex, and you got the old calendar with you can put all your like things to keep reminding you what to do.
Okay.
And then on a weekend, I'd say it's either a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, I'd say I'd dedicate a good 3-4 hours to just solid maintenance. Whether it's just cleaning the skimmers, cleaning the net, cleaning out the algae scrubbers, water change, topping up, calibrating, that sort of thing. I'd say 3-4 hours dedicated maintenance every week.
Very cool. All right, I think that's pretty much done. Anything else? Any final thoughts? Any words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. I really don't know right now. no, it is the old classic. It's just that it's the old stability and my God, patience. Especially on a system like this.
Well, Abass, thank you very much for showing us around. It's really
no problem at all.
And it's an incredibly impressive tank, and look forward to seeing you next one.
No problem.
Cheers.
Cheers.